His name is Bertie, and he plays the flute. How are you, man?
What story?
How are you? What is the story?
Oh, not bad.
No,
Is this working?
It is working, yeah.
Sure.
I
can't hear myself, though.
It's the second week in a row. Hold on a second. Let me turn you up there. There you go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you needed to fiddle with knobs a bit more. No, I could hear you. I just couldn't hear me.
Okay, go on. Are you talking again there?
Yeah, I'm talking away.
And you can hear yourself?
Yeah, just a bit.
Oh, jeez, I'll turn you up.
sure.
Hold on, go on, go on.
Sure, look, I'll survive.
No,
Are you fiddling with the right knob?
I am, yeah. Should
Alright.
be all fiddled. You can't hear
sure.
yourself. That's weird.
Actually, we'll go with it.
Give me your headphones. Hold on a
Oh
second.
my god.
Let's do this. It's the JB Waffle Hour. Technical difficulty.
Maybe we'll just...
Oh, no, I can hear you, yeah.
Oh, can you? Maybe my own ears then, is it?
Yeah, I think your ears are broke.
Oh my god.
There you go. How dare you? Now,
I can hear you.
my voice is a little bit deeper than yours, though.
Oh yeah, maybe that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll go with that anyway.
Sultry, deep voice.
Yeah. Quick bites!
Quick bites. Bertie, you were giving me some news. What was your news last week, bud?
What the news was I am now a legitimate person.
Right.
Because I got a public service card, which I never had before.
Hey, well done, man.
Because I wanted to apply for some licenses.
How come you didn't have a public services card?
Never needed it.
I don't know why I needed it.
They went through a whole thing there a few years ago of
come get this.
Instead of your PPS
Come
number,
get
which
this.
never had your photo on anyway for some strange reason, we now want to make sure we have photo ID along with your PPS number.
Right.
And you booked in or whatever, you went in. I said, sure, why do you need it? Do I need it for anything? Not really. If you maybe had a medical card or applying for these things, you could apply for any of them. Never needed them until recently when I wanted to apply for licenses, and you need my GovID to log into the NDLSPOW.
My God.
And I didn't have my GovID because you don't have a public service card.
Ah, there's the little loophole they get you with.
There you go. So I don't know why you need to be logging into so many things.
Oh, it's pain in the hoop, isn't it?
Yep.
Just use my PPS, please.
It's handy, to be fair. Like, you just book in a slot in the place beside Dole office. You go in, take a picture, type away, and then you get your card in the post.
Yeah, that's grand and all, but you have to actually go in and do it.
Yeah, you have to leave work early.
Hoop.
I mean,
pain.
I don't have to work.
Severe hoop pain. It's always the same little things that you have to jump through hoops to get with the government.
Yeah.
Log into this and.
I was in Hoth over the weekend.
Hoth.
Yeah.
What place? What were you doing up there, dude?
We went for fish and chips again.
That's a hell of a distance to be travelling for fish and chips.
They're nice in the Bischoff Bros. Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
I always thought it was just a load of brothers called Bischoff. It was the Bischoff brothers.
Can I ask you
But
something?
it's not.
Have you had fish and chips in Leo Burdock's?
Yeah.
Oh, you have. Okay. And how do they
On
compare?
the one down from Vicar Street. That's Leo
Yes.
Burdock's, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went there. I think there's one. There's a few of them. Yeah, they're nice, but the one, I think it's just, the setting, the fish and chips. You're by the water, you can see the boats.
Oh, right. So you think that's better than Burdock's?
I think so.
Because apparently Burdock's is like the best in the country.
Well, I like their chips and all in Bishop Ross. I've only went to Leo Burdock's once though. So
Okay. Anyone out there wants to send in their opinions on the best fish and chips in Ireland, we can have a look at that. So you went to Hoth for that? Hoth.
Yeah. The one down beside O'Matney's, people always say is good chips.
Ezio's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good. Did you know, little fact, Ezio Jr. is one of my students.
In music or football?
In music.
Oh yeah.
He's a little drummer.
He's
only little fella. He's only about 6 or 7. Cutest little Italian boy comes in. I want to learn the drums. He doesn't talk like that, but it's his
little red beret.
Yeah. His uncle was his namesake. He's gone now, unfortunately. But his mum's father owns the place. So that's Ezio's. Yeah.
Yeah, because I suppose chippers is a funny old thing because everybody says, oh, what's the best chips? But they forget everything else. I suppose you could have the best chips, but then the worst burger. And someone else could have the best burger.
Crappy batter sausages and stuff.
It's like all these butchers, they all say like, award-winning pudding or award-winning sausages or world-renowned rashers. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
all a load of shite, isn't it, really?
Anybody can buy, what are they called? Corsage.
A croissant. Oh, a little badge thingy, yeah. It is isn't that a corsage? It is a corsage, yeah. We have a band. We have a band.
Yes.
And on our website it says Ireland's #1 wedding band. But we're not.
You are a wedding band.
We are a wedding band and we are one of them. But we say we are #1. And every wedding band is the same. Ireland's #1 wedding band. But there's no rating and no one rates them.
There's no ratemyband.com.
No, there's not. No. like Rate My Teacher.
That'd be handy for weddings, though, if there was such a thing that you could go on and you could see all these kind of bands,
Well,
like,
there
by
is
genre and how good they are, and pictures and what instruments they play and what's their go-to song. Because when you have a first dance,
yes,
like, and it's a certain kind of song, you need a certain kind of singer to sing that song. Then
that's true. Yeah. I need you more than ever. I fucking need you. You know that the wedding singer.
Yeah.
So there is that. That's that website. It does exist.
I'm
not sure what it is, but it does exist. Yeah.
Okay.
What was I going to say? Something about teachers there. What was that about?
They're all off now.
They are all off, yeah.
Well, some of them are. Some of them are finished on Friday.
Another, Thursday or Friday. People finishing up on Wednesday.
Half day, out the gap.
You said something about teachers there, and I was going to segue lovely into our topic.
Oh, it's too early to segue.
Really?
Because I have some information.
Okay, do it, man. Let's see. For
our valid listeners. Do you know the way sometimes Scotty goes missing from the podcast?
What do I?
I have found out where Scotty goes.
Oh.
Scotty is a highly trained, highly skilled Portuguese Marine.
I didn't want to say it, but sometimes I'm away.
When I'm editing this video, I will put up that picture.
Are you going to? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just so you can see. Watching TikTok, this lad was talking about how the Portuguese Marines march. Apparently, they do a little jump and a stamp.
That's right, yeah, we do, yeah.
And he basically froze it just as he came into talk on TikTok, and I'm like, oh my God, that is Scotty. I showed it to people agreed. I sent it to you. You were like, yep, that's me.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, actually. I looked at it. You know when people send you stuff, you're like, oh, this person looks just like you. And you look at it like, no, it doesn't. Not at all.
Yeah.
I actually looked at this and I was like, holy shit, that really looks like me.
Like, is that me?
It's insane.
Do I black out and go be a Portuguese Marine, and then when I wake up, then I wonder why my back is sore?
Yeah. Or maybe that's actually what it is. I'm doing that in the evenings. But it does really look like me, yeah. And it means that I can get myself an valid Portuguese, what's it called?
See the way the Americans get real tetchy when everybody else uses the word Marine, because Marines isn't just a specific thing. Every army has a division of Marines.
Oh, really?
As far as I'm aware.
Yeah, Americans are like that, aren't they?
Yeah.
Come here to me. You were talking. Oh, yeah. Have you got any other little bits and bobbines to go through?
No, only you were talking about drumming there. See the video I sent you, your man drumming with all just usual things.
Little pots and pans and bits and bobs. Yeah.
Is that possible to be like that much rhythm when you don't have a proper drum set?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I have students who don't own drum kits. Like,
oh.
Yeah. They just, we do a lot of stuff on your hands and your knees. Or we do clapping stuff, or I was doing a thing. I can't remember who I sent it to, but it was just a cutlery drawer.
Pay you a certain amount of money, and you're like, and they're like,
yeah,
and you're like, and they're like,
I know it's a racket. It's a Ponzi scheme. No, you're teaching them.
And if you get 3 friends to come,
it's just muscle memory, really. Do you know what say when you're teaching someone how to kick?
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll take the ball out of the equation so that you can run through the motion of actually kicking.
Yeah.
Without the focus of the football, actually running through the motions and then repeating, and then you're building muscle memory. It's the same on drums as well. You can build muscle memory without the drums actually being in front of you.
Was it Ranieri or something? Was that him? He used to do the session with no ball. Was that him?
Did you ever hear of the what's it called? I can't remember what the session was called anyway, but Newcastle did it back in the day, and it was basically, I think they called it the ghost session or something.
Oh, maybe that's what I was thinking of, was it?
But it was 11 players on a pitch, and they would play against no one, basically, and so they
like shape and formation.
Yeah, moving around the pitch and stuff. But this Newcastle team, it was during, I think it was Ozzy Ardiles, I think was the manager. Maybe they tipped off and they passed back, and whoever the ball went back to, he missed it. And they scored an own goal. So they were playing a game against themselves, and they were fucking 1-0 down before they even started. It's brilliant. You look that up. That's a clip from YouTube. It's brilliant.
Speaking of drummers.
Yes.
David Grohl, he was a good drummer.
He was grand. He's still a good drummer, yeah.
But he annoyed all the Swifties.
Oh, Riley, what did he do?
Yeah, he kind of implied that Taylor Swift doesn't sing her songs when she's on stage.
Well, she doesn't. She's a good singer and all, but she uses autotune live. Yeah, absolutely she does.
Oh, okay.
So I love Taylor Swift too.
Sure, look, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
No,
we may as well annoy the Swifties. There's a load of them. And if they come and listen to the podcast, sure, why not?
I would consider myself a Swiftie. I'm going to be totally honest. Like I love Taylor Swift music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's really good. Like there's some greatly written tunes. She's deadly, but she does not. She does sing live, but she uses autotune in her voice.
Yeah, I suppose you need to give it a bigger kick when you're up on stage.
Yeah, she's a huge pop star,
Yeah.
They don't leave things to chance. Like they're not going to just sing themselves at a gig. So all auto-tune is really, sorry for touching your arm again there.
That's okay.
All auto-tune really is if I sing a certain note, right, and if I'm a little tiny bit out, all auto-tune does is it just corrects that to the right note.
And what if you're like Cher and you're really
no,
out
that's ridiculous. They actually use that as there's a cool podcast on that actually. They use that obviously to and they were turning it up to 10, say, auto-tune
or 11
or amps go up to 11. So they turned it up to 11 in order to make that sound come out. And everyone just went bananas over the auto-tune sound. Yeah. Do you believe in life after love?
She is quite obviously auto-tuned though.
Oh, that was on purpose though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, that was on purpose. They used that on purpose, that effect on her voice. They wanted that. And there was a few synths who have done that, but it's all pop stars use it generally live.
Speaking of Cher and being forever young, the kids are off school now.
Forever young. Yes, they are for the summer holidays. Woo! That kind of brings us to our topic. Hey.
Yeah, which might be quite quick now, to be honest.
Yeah, it probably will be. So our little quick bites topic. Summer holidays. Yes. I remember back to this podcast, by the way, is quickly becoming the remember when I was young thing. It's every week we're doing it now. But anyway, when you're
by Dairy Gold.
when you're young, you get to the first week of your holidays, you're like, I have the rest of my life to just be at home and not get up out of bed. And then all of a sudden, you wake up one morning and your mum is like, we're going into Jaxie Kiernan's or whatever Nina's or something in Trim. We're going into Nina's in Trim. You're like, why are we going to Nina's, mum? Oh, we have to try on your school uniform for school. It's like, what? Yeah. What? The summer holidays only started, and you're like a week away from going back.
And go to MJ's to get all your books.
Yeah, get the pencils, copies. 2Bs or your 5Bs.
Did you have the one that that's maybe 6th class, or maybe was that into secondary school? Do you know, like it was
the hardbacks,
the math set. In the fence case.
No, you would have got those in primary school as well. Yeah, with the compass and the stabbing someone with the compass. The compass and the protractor and the little small triangle. What was that called? Is that not a set square?
There's 2 triangle ones.
And
then the one when you went through had the tall ones that looked in the shape like a Coke can.
What? Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
On top.
Yeah. The good old days. And the smell of all your new stuff. You're like, actually, going back to school mightn't be too bad. And then you get back to school and you're like, oh, fuck this.
And were you fancy having wallpaper on your copybooks or just the brown paper?
No, we had plastic pockets.
Oh yeah, put the plastic on them. Yeah.
Plastic pockets. I used to love the idea of going back to school, and then we got back and I was like, this shite, I want to be on summer holidays again. But as I said last week, I think we were talking about it when we were talking about the Euros. The summers with the football was always the really special ones.
It always felt longer though when you were a kid.
The summers with football.
Yeah, for secondary school, obviously it's longer, but for primary school, it's actually not that long. But 8 weeks though.
8 weeks.
But when you're a kid,
sometimes 9 weeks.
That seemed forever though, didn't it?
Yeah, it really did. Yeah.
Out playing football and building huts and forts.
Did you ever have a stage during the summer? Like a little phase with the I'm bored phase, it's called. Oh. Did you ever have that?
Well, I used to be kicking the ball up against the wall and being the goalkeeper and replaying games in my head. You were the goalkeeper and the person hitting the ball against the wall. Yeah, and I used to save it then. And then we had the wall, like it was a little wall with a bollard. So if you managed to hit the football off the bollard, you didn't know which way it was going to go. Yeah. So you make a good save. Test your reactions. I still think that's why I'm not a bad goalkeeper when it comes to playing Astro. There we go. Don't say that out loud now. You'll be playing Astro now in a few weeks. We had when you were into your teenage years then, were you left at home when your parents would go to work and stuff? When they went to go on holidays, I think maybe was I 14, maybe second year, was it? Mm-hmm. That was the last time I think I went on holidays. Right, okay. With them. Now, obviously, when you grow up and you're a more adult, it's your choice to go away with your parents. Yeah. I love go away with parents. Family. But there's a period of time where you don't want to, like. Yeah. And you want to be at home. Too cool for school. Exactly. So I think it was around that time, all right. My daughter's getting to that stage. And then you start walking up and down the road and cycling up and down the road. And yeah. Going to your mates' houses and house parties and whatnot. That's the other thing is I see a little note here. It says, bye social life. So, I lived in Athboy. I still live in Athboy. I live in the same house, actually. But it's miles from anywhere.
you were the same sort of scenario,
Yeah.
but you had some friends around you actually, so you weren't too bad.
Paul was down the road, John was up the road.
So I was way out in the country. So if I was to go anywhere,
None of your friends live beside you, no?
no, none of them. Sure, I went to school in Trim, and I lived in the far side of Athboy. Some of my friends lived in Athboy and stuff, but I never would have been able to get down to the town. It was still a bit too far. So unless I got dropped somewhere and then collected and all that stuff, it was just a pain in the hoop.
And at that stage, you had to be at a certain place at a certain time.
Yeah,
because you didn't
there's
have
no
a phone.
phones. No. Yeah, I'll pick you up at Robbie's house now at 6 o'clock, and you better be ready. And we'd be off in the town. Be like, what time is it there? Oh, it's 10 to 6. Like, shit! I have to be back to my mum's coming for 6 o'clock. Run back home again, sprinting through Avondale.
I remember being at a house party. And to think, like, the house wasn't even that far away from where we lived. It was on the Longwood Road.
Mm-hmm.
And we were over there. And we had phones at the time, but at that stage, like, they died or whatever, you weren't really on them. You never really noticed it, because this was, like, 2001 or 2002. Maybe 2002.
Snake on the phone.
I remember we had planned on walking home. And obviously you're in the house party and doing whatever we're doing. And we went to walk home at maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. We got to the gate. This like real dense fog had come down.
Yeah.
And we had no lights and like no obviously flecky jacket. You're too cool for that.
Yeah, of course.
And we're like, shit, how do we get home? And
you didn't chance it, did you?
We started walking.
Oh man.
And John's mother stopped. She was coming home from Trim, I don't know what she was at, and started giving out because number one, we were walking on the road that late at night, and plus we were meant to be home. And it was one of those kind of trips home.
Walk of shame.
Nobody said anything.
Yeah, I hate those.
And Paul got dropped off first, and then I got dropped off, and was just like, oh, bye John, bye Mrs. Turin.
Bye Mrs. Turin. Did you have that with your friends' mums where you, like, obviously your friend was like a dick to their mum, like they'd be just really, really kind of like, oh, shut up, mum. No, it's not cool.
No,
but
I don't think so.
No, you weren't like that.
No.
But then you were kind of really like, hello. Your manners were always brilliant.
we were always like that. Yeah.
Hi, Mrs. Patterson.
And
Hi.
I think we would have said that, but then they would have said maybe some of them would have said about say calling them whatever, like their first name or whatever.
Yeah.
You rarely did, like, you know.
Yeah, I know with Margaret, who's Robbie's mum, I was always, hello, Mrs. Kennedy, Kennedy, up and for like loads and loads of years. And then it just became Margaret, I think, when I became an adult. I just call her Margaret now.
Yeah, I'd still feel kind of weird though seeing them. Now, obviously, I haven't talked to them in a while. That's probably why you'd feel a bit weird. But
I saw Mr. McGivney the other day.
Oh, Jerry.
And I met him in the streets, and I was like, hello, Mr. McGivney. And then he was like, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, as I was going, I was like, see you, sir. Just still, and I'm nearly 40 coming now in about 2 years. So
now I didn't have him as a teacher, so I think that probably helped. But I still would have known him as
Jerry,
Mr. McGivney in school.
Oh yeah.
But what happened with me was I started getting him as a ref for the ladies.
Oh right, okay.
And the first few times I met him, I would have said Mr. McGivney, and I remember him saying like, "No, it's like all right, like
yeah, you didn't have to call me that."
Because I think he didn't know me, and I just remember, I was in school in 2003 or whatever. He goes, no, it's grand now. Call me Jerry.
And lastly, I think we're kind of getting to the end here, but lastly, nowadays kids, the parents come into the summer and they're like, every week there's a different camp sorted for them, so they're entertained all the way through. Did you get that growing up, or were you kind of just like me?
I went at one stage. It was it wasn't Samba soccer. It was whatever predated Samba soccer.
Oh yeah.
And I remember
I went to that as well.
I remember having like, we got this yellow jersey and stuff, and it wasn't Samba soccer. It was like Brazilian school soccer, on in the MDL or something.
Yeah, I went to that too. But you know what? The guys that all ran it were like Eastern European.
Yeah.
None of them Brazilian.
No, but at that stage, to us, they looked like they were.
Yeah, it's like, your man really looks like Ronaldo. Yeah. It's some guy from Bulgaria.
I actually found that jersey that I got, and I sent it into 2 Johnnies. And for a few months in the background of their old studio, you used to see it hanging up, the yellow jersey.
No way.
I just randomly found it over lockdown, cleaning out something or whatever. Like, I found it, and then the cool camps were called Leinster Gia summer camps when I went.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, I went in Trim, and I went in Navan as well.
Very good.
And there you go.
Very good. Well, to all the parents out there who are planning loads and loads of activities for their kids over the summer, It's grand.
Dancing camps.
Let them be.
Performing arts.
Let them be
camps,
bored.
football,
No.
soccer.
Let them be bored. It's fun. It's good for your kid to be bored. It's not fun. It's good for your kid to be bored. That's where their imagination comes from. So let them be bored for a little bit.
Don't let them be on the old screens all summer.
But do also send them to the Meath Music Academy summer camp.
Yes, I get it. Those emails too.
And also some of the FEI summer
I don't
camps
ever remember signing up to those emails.
Well, you're in there for life, buddy. All right, so we go quick bites.
Quick bits.
Quick bites.